Hi gentlemen, welcome back. Today I want to talk about a near life death experience with you guys, and my intention with these videos that I'm going to be making from now on, and I'm obviously going to talk about dating and relationships, but I also want to talk about things that I love talking about and that really just is like, it lights a fire in my soul. So I definitely want to share that part of me with you as well. My intention with these videos is not to sit here and convert people or just say you have to believe in God now, like, you know, you're ridiculous, whatever. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. All I'm trying to do is, you know, these videos are really for people, and there's a lot of them because I speak to you men a lot that are in this state of mind where anything you do, you know, whether it's go on a date with a bunch of women, sleep with a bunch of women, make a lot of money, you know, have success in your business, whatever it is, travel, get a car, have a house, like you have all of these things. But there's still a part of you that feels empty, that feels unworthy, that feels like you're not enough. And I don't know, I think that's just like a human condition, you know, for us to not feel that way. And some people have a lot of confidence, but sometimes it's masked by an ego. That's a whole different story. But basically, this is really for men, even women out there if you want to watch, but mostly men. If you are right now just lost, you're confused, you don't believe in something bigger than yourself, you don't believe in God, you don't, or you just have a bad notion about religion in general, you know. And then I, for a long time, was very confused myself with religion because I just don't agree with a lot of things. And it's not even agree, I don't even want to use that word. It's more to do with what resonates with my soul. It just doesn't align. And so I feel like I want to talk about this more because I feel like a lot of men hide this part of themselves because they are afraid to talk about it. And I know I'm not a man, so that's okay. But I think I still feel like that there is space out there for men to talk about these things. And I feel like it's going to be beneficial. I can't speak today. Anyways, so let's get into it. I'm going to talk a little bit about this near life death experience with Travis Shreve. And there's so many near life death experiences. There's so many videos on it right now, which I love because people are coming out and telling their story. And you know, a lot of people that want to misunderstand it or not believe in it is like, but why? Like, to me, it doesn't make sense, but there are so many of them out there, and I just don't believe that. Especially there was a woman that had a near life death experience when she was like really young, like 7 or 8, and she talked about it when she was 50. A lot of people don't even share that they have it because a lot of, you know, their family members or whoever they've told to, they make them feel ridiculous or like, really, that happened to you? Are you, you know? And so then they kind of shut down and they don't talk about it. And so I definitely want to give the light, and I want to expose people that, you know, they need to be exposed. And especially I think the men, and I can never be that for men, unfortunately, but I can be a role model. Like, of course, I can share my wisdom and I can talk to you all day long. But at the end of it, I believe that we need a lot more men that are stepping into that role model, into that frame, because we are lacking that now more than ever. So let's get right into it. And I forgot to add, the reason why I want to shed light on this is for people that are lost, that are confused, that don't know where they're going in life. They just don't know why. Why should I wake up tomorrow? What is the purpose of me being here? A lot of people are lost, and that ends up in them being depressed, you know, severely depressed. And if people don't have the money to go to a therapist, or they don't have family members, they don't have that support, they're gonna end up that, you know, that leads to them taking their lives. And to be honest, I've heard a lot of men literally going in that direction, which really just breaks my heart. And so I really hope that these videos that are out there, and also the video that I'm going to be making from now on, will be able to give you a little bit of faith maybe to not even change what you think, but just it's about, you know, finding some truth in what I'm saying, what resonates with your soul. And if that is able to make you a little bit more of a believer and believe that your life is so precious and you're meant to be here, you have a gift that nobody ever does, you're one in a billion, there's nobody else like you out there, and you are so loved and you're so accepted and you're so needed. And if I'm able to save just one person, then this video is worth it. And I do not give a shit if nobody watches these videos. Because I'm sure men are like, oh God, here we go. But it is what it is. This is what I'm doing now, guys. So hush yourself. Let's get into the video. Before I even get into the video, I do not want to spoil it for you, because when I speak, I am going to kind of spoil it for you. So I really, really hope that you can go pause this video and I want you to watch that video. Even if you don't come back to this video, I don't even give a shit. Go and watch that video. That is what is important right now. Go and watch that video, take some time to process it, and then come back into this video. I really hope that you do that, because I just feel like it's just such an emotional video to watch. Like, I was watching it before. I've already watched it, but I watched it again before recording this video, because I'm like, I need to refresh myself, and I couldn't even watch it. I'm like, please stop talking, because I literally want to like sit here and cry for an hour. And it's just so real, so heartbreaking, and just you know, anything to do with children is like, I can't deal with it. So this man right here, Travis, was in a coma. I believe this was during COVID, and he was in a coma. And basically what happened was that he had a bit of a misunderstanding with the nurses and with everybody, and he thought that at the end of it they literally wanted to kill him because he couldn't talk. They weren't talking back to him, and he was just so distressed, confused, lost, like all of the worst feelings you can have right before you're about to leave, because nobody was communicating with him. And I think this is another thing. I feel like if somebody's in the hospital and they're in a coma, please make sure that you talk to them, because majority of the time they probably are listening. Their soul is outside of their body and they're listening to you, which is kind of what happened to him. So also before I get into this, I do want to mention that every human being's near life death experience is customized to them. It's made specifically for them. No, I just spit all over. Okay. Because your near life death experience won't make sense to me, because I'm so, you know, like things that make me feel comfortable, people that I love and know, and what makes sense to me is going to be very different to what makes sense to you, right? So everyone's near life death experience, that's why I love listening to it, because it's so interesting to hear about it. Anyway, so he was in the coma. And it's a long story. It's like 46-minute video. I'm not going to go into every single detail. But basically he went into coma, and he would kind of go in and out of like in the room, and then he would be going into a different realm. And so what was really interesting about this is that, and it's funny because when I was listening to him speak about this, I was thinking, why is he talking about this lady? So anyway, so what happens is he leaves the realm, goes into a different realm. And what he describes it to me, and of course you can see the full video, I'm not going to go properly into it, but basically he sees like this white room, or just super clean. And he's like, I knew it wasn't Earth, because there was literally not even one scratch on this place, wherever the hell it was. And he ended up meeting this woman, and he described her. When he was describing her, I'm like, and he's married with children, and he was like, she's just beautiful, and I just kept adoring her, and she was just so amazing, and like something in him knew that she was looking after his children, whatever that means, right? So he just had this connection that he couldn't fathom. He couldn't put it into words. And a lot of this information that he's getting from her, there was a part where she's like, I love you, and all these kind of things. And she says that it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And she basically was, you know, she was guiding him and she was with him. But he never recognized her. He didn't know who the hell she was. But he just had this feeling of just like this, you know, the energy from her was just unconditional love and acceptance. And just like, he's like, I just did not want to go back into that mess, into that hospital. I wanted to stay. And it's funny because a lot of the times when I hear neuro life death experiences, there's only one time that this lady said something else, but majority of them do not want to come back into their body. It's like they're like, please let me be here. I don't want to go back in earth. And it's funny because I have this feeling that it's actually much harder on earth. Like, we have it so much harder on earth. I think when we die is actually the best part of our lives. I know this sounds crazy. I'm sure it does. But I think that our life here on earth is just very taxing and it's a lot of struggles. And it's more like, think of being here on earth like school. You're here to learn, you're here to grow your consciousness and to serve. And so anywho, so he has a lot of these encounters with this beautiful woman, and she is just, and there's no words, as I said, they're literally just there, but he hears her laugh. And he's like, this laugh was just the most amazing, sound from a human, and he was just in love with her. He kept on talking about this, coming in and out, coming in and out. And he literally he had a thought. He's like, once I get back into my, my home and then everything's fine, I'm going to ask this woman, like, we're going to make space in our basement for this woman to come and stay. Because he was so just in love. And by the way, when I heard that, I was so confused. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't understand it at that time. That's why you need to watch till the end. And so basically what happened, I'm going to cut it short because I can go on and on. But basically what happened is that after he went through that experience, and hopefully I'm not missing any big details, but he ended up coming back into his home and he was just trying to make sense of it all. Like, who is this woman? Why am I so in love? I just adore her so much. Why? And then he was sitting and he was like reflecting. He was like, I need to be a better father. And whoever has this thought, by the way, I need to be a better person for my children, is like, you're already a better person. Like, you don't even need to, like, of course you need to take action, but I feel like the fact that people sit and reflect and say, how do I be a better husband? How do I be a better father? What can I do? Is like, that's the key to know that you are an evolved human being. Because a lot of people think, how can you be better to me? What can you do for me? That's what our society is built that way. What can you do for me? But we never think about, what can I do for you? And so anyways, he was sitting there and he kept having these thoughts like, what can I do? And then he got this inner knowing, download voice, whatever you want to call it, that said, that's not it. That's not what this was about. And he's like, of course, this is what it's about. This is why I went through this. And again, it was like, nope, that's not it. Try again. And he then got a download, and everything just made sense to him. And basically, he had a daughter that had a rare disease, and I don't remember exactly what it's called, but she had a rare disease, and so she passed away at 16 months. And so that soul was actually that beautiful woman. And then because he couldn't recognize her, because that disease, she basically, like, that disease makes your head really big and makes you super skinny, and you get a lot of veins. And so you couldn't, you can't recognize the baby, right? Babies kind of look the same. And so once he realized that soul was actually his daughter, like, oh, I just went to a different planet. I was like, this cannot be it. Like, this is just, it's so wild to me. This story is just insane to me, that this could even happen. This is even a possibility, that you have a child And they pass away, and he's like, one of the last memories he had was the doctor resuscitating. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Trying to revive her life at 16 months. Woo! And they couldn't. He's like, we got the best of the best doctors, we got all of the great people, but they failed. And they couldn't, she passed away. And so that was the last memory of her, which was a very horrible memory to have of somebody you love. And he went on to say that they actually had another child after, which ended up passing away. I believe it's 8 years. Yeah, he passed away at 7 or 8 years. And he had the same rare condition, and he also passed away. And I think the reason, he said that a lot of the things that were showing to me, they didn't want me to know, because if I knew, think about it, if you see your children who passed away after so long, why would you want to come back? You wouldn't. And so he realized that was one of the reasons why he just saw the woman, and he couldn't really recognize it. He didn't know who she was. He didn't know her name, nothing. And it's just like blows me away that somebody can go through that, losing two, imagine you have a child, because I have a daughter, and I'm like, you do all these things for them, and you plan their lives, and not like dictatorship, but it's like you just envision a life with them, and you never think that something like this could happen, and then they die, and to this guy it happened twice. Imagine the motivation to get pregnant again. I would be petrified to have another baby after the second, because it's like, oh, is it going to happen again? But it didn't. I believe they had 2 other kids after this. And it's just like, ooh. And what his message really was at the end of the video was that all of us need to keep enduring this thing called life, and we need to keep on with it, even when it gets difficult, even when it gets tough, because there's another experience that I listen to, and I do believe this, because I tell this to my mom all the time, because she sometimes, she's super, how do I say it? She's just afraid of everything, and she thinks death is the worst thing ever, and then she's just afraid to live. And I'm like, you're afraid of death, but you're not even living right now. You might as well die right now. I know that's such a horrible thing to say, but it's you're barely alive. And there's a lot of people out there that live like that. They're not living. There's times when I need to catch myself, what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing these things? And I think I love his message for all of us to keep enduring through this life, no matter what path or sorrow you are experiencing. Brighter days are ahead, and indescribable calm and peace will be yours someday. And it's going to make all of your life struggles, all of that, worth it. And I just wish more people know this about life, and life is meant to be a struggle. You've actually chosen the struggles, and I know a lot of people will not want to believe that either, but our souls come to the world knowing what the parents, we know all of this. And so I always tell my mom, I know, a lot of people that want to take their lives, or they want to leave, you're not going to leave technically, because you're bound in this universe until and unless you unlock certain keys, unlock certain levels. And there was actually another near life death experience that I might speak about another time, where there was another story with a drug addict where she again took a lot of heroin, and she passed out, and she was with the spirit guides, and that's the whole thing. And they literally told her, you can choose to die, but then you're gonna come back, you gotta choose a baby to come back as. And they showed this African child for her soul to go into. So they were like, either this, or you're gonna come back into your regular body. That woman that is a prostitute, drug addict, that's so messed up, but we're gonna help you. And then thank God she chose the latter. I mean, she chose coming back into her body. and she changed her entire life around, and that was like another crazy story. But a lot of people that think like I want to leave this earth and like everything's gonna be so much better when I just leave, like that is not actually true, because you're gonna come back again. And I say this to my mom, and I know I laugh about it, but I really do. It's a fact. I just know it. You're gonna come back again over and over and over again until you learn your lesson. It's funny because I actually wanted, like I kept trying to record a video, the video on my laptop, because I was like, I'm gonna like react to it, but it just kept on, it just wasn't working. So I'm like, okay, I believe in science. I'm like, okay, maybe you don't want me to do that, so I'm just gonna come on here and talk and blab, and hope that it helps somebody out there. So what I really want you to take out of this video is, firstly, that you matter, your life matters, and your decisions, they fucking matter as well. Your decisions, they matter. And family matters. People that are around you. And if you don't have family, it's okay. I'm not a big, you know, my family has has kind of like, I'll go into it maybe another time or so, but I don't have a big family either. And so it's like, it's about finding people that resonate with your soul, and finding your soul tribe if that's what's meant to be, but making a point of getting out there and meeting new people, and just like when the time is right, those people that are meant to be in your life will just, they'll magnetize to you. I really hope that this video has inspired you in any way. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one.